He left home with a smile, told his parents he might catch the football. He never came back. No body, no answers, only a whisper of something sinister behind a church wall. This is the story of Lee Boxell, a boy who vanished, and the secrets buried beneath Sutton. Saturday the 10th of September 1988. 15-year-old Lee Boxell left his home in Cheam, South London, at around 11 a.m. He told his parents he was off to meet a mate in Sutton. Nothing unusual, just a normal weekend. By all accounts, Lee was a well-liked lad. Slim build, light brown hair, and always polite. That morning he dressed in black jeans, a white Flintstones t-shirt, and brown suede shoes. He met his friend like he said he would. They hung around Sutton town centre for a couple of hours, just window shopping. And at around 1 p.m, they said their goodbyes. Lee mentioned he might head to a football match. Charlton Athletic versus Millwall, over at Selhurst Park in Croydon. That's the last time his mate ever saw him. He never came home, and no one, not friends, not family, not police, has seen Lee Boxell since. In the hours that followed, his parents, Peter and Christine, grew more and more anxious.
We thought he went to the football, 5 o'clock went, 6 o'clock, and so on. I was worried. My husband just thought, well, maybe he missed the bus train, but I was really worried. We was ringing the police and hospitals and everything, trying to find out what's happened to him.
It wasn't like Lee to disappear. He was a sensible boy, reliable. The police launched a search. Leaflets went out. Crime Watch did appeals.
Police in London say they're now extremely concerned for the safety of the 15-year-old schoolboy Lee Boxell.
Officers stood at football stadiums, asking if anyone had seen a boy in a Flintstones t-shirt. No confirmed sightings, no solid leads. But then, someone did come forward. A witness said they had seen Lee at 2:20 p.m. on Sutton High Street, just outside Tesco. That's nearly an hour and a half after he left his friend. Here's the thing though, by that time, it was unlikely he could have made it to Selhurst Park before the kick-off. So, if he wasn't at the match, where did he go? This is where the mystery begins, and it only gets darker from here. For over 20 years, Lee's case went cold. No fresh lead, no body, no closure. His bedroom was left untouched, just as he'd left it. His parents never gave up. But in 2012, something surfaced. A quiet lead, a new witness. Someone who said Lee hadn't gone to the football match that day. He'd gone somewhere else. Somewhere the local kids called the shed. It wasn't a real shed. It was just a back room, tucked away in a side building next to St Dunstan's Church in Cheam. Locals called it a youth club, but it wasn't official. No records, no supervision, just somewhere teenagers gathered out of sight. No one had mentioned it to the police before. It wasn't on anyone's radar. But local teenagers knew it well. It is where they all hung out. No parents, no real supervision. And it was run by a man named William Lambert, the church's gravedigger. In 2011, just a year before this new witness came forward, Lambert had been jailed for essaying 4 girls who'd gone to the shed. He was 75 years old when he was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Suddenly, Lee's disappearance didn't look so random. It looked targeted and calculated. Police began to dig, literally. Between June and September 2012, they excavated parts of the church graveyard. They went back again in 2013, but still there was no trace of Lee. Then came something new, something awful. Another person came forward after seeing Lee's case featured on Crime Watch, around what would have been Lee's 40th birthday. This person made a fresh allegation, SA. Something they'd never told anyone before. It lined up with what detectives were starting to believe, that Lee did go to the shed that day, and that maybe, just maybe, he saw something he shouldn't have and tried to stop it. And that might have cost him his life. By 2013, police had shifted their focus. They no longer believed Lee had simply run away or vanished at random. They believed he might have died because he tried to do the right thing. The theory was grim, that Lee had gone to the shed that afternoon, that he walked in and caught someone in the act, and a man like William Lambert or others operating around him. And rather than stay silent, Lee, 15 years old and brave, tried to intervene and tried to protect someone. And for that, he may have been silenced. But what proof is there? No body, no confirmed witnesses placing Lee inside the shed, no confession. But there are clues, the kind of clues that don't scream but whisper. In 2014, 3 people were arrested in connection with the case, including William Lambert. They were questioned and bailed, but no charges followed. Police hit a wall. Still, people talk. There are locals who quietly believe that someone, maybe even someone already behind bars, knows exactly what happened to Lee, and that he's buried somewhere nearby, never far from home. Then there's another twist, another boy, another vanishing. 2 years before Lee disappeared in 1986, a 16-year-old called Kevin Hicks left his home just a few miles away. He said he was going to buy eggs, but some now say that it was just a cover story, that Kevin was being groomed, receiving gifts, hiding them from his family, and that he too was lured out to meet someone and never came back. Now, there's no proof linking these two cases, but it's hard to ignore them. Young boys, groomed, missing, no trace, and always silence. As of today, Lee Boxell has been missing for nearly 4 decades. His parents have grown old, waiting for answers. They've kept his room exactly the same since the day he walked out of the door. They still hold on to hope, and so do many others, because someone, somewhere, knows what happened. Lee Boxell didn't just vanish. He walked into something dark, and if the police are right, he may have died trying to protect someone else. And if that is true, it makes him not just a victim, but a hero. If you have any information about the disappearance of Lee Boxell, no matter how small, it's not too late to speak up for Lee, for his family, and for the truth. If you found this story important, please share it. Someone somewhere might know something. And if you'd like to hear more true stories like this one, do consider subscribing. Okay, until next time, look after yourselves and never stop asking questions. Cheers.